Well, Grand Rising, my people. Hopefully, you guys are having a super fantastic day. So, for today's videos, I will not channel. I am actually going to talk about different aspects of free will, and we are going to discuss the different ways that people will attempt to manipulate your free will. I don't know if you guys had the opportunity to watch the other videos, okay? But during meditation, I was told by the Most High to focus more on helping individuals who are on their divine pathway. Oh my gosh, my nose. On their divine pathway, to understand the ways in which other people will attempt to manipulate them so that they will be able to exert some type of control over accessing or using someone else's free will. So, in other words, many of the individuals here do understand the concept of free will, because you know that when you exercise your free will, okay, you also have to deal with the consequences of what exercising your free will actually manifests. Okay, so free will and consequences go hand in hand. Okay, but what I need to now kind of key in on is how other people will manipulate you in order to make you feel as though you're not actually giving them your free will when you actually are. Okay, so let's kind of get into that. First things first, and guys, if you see me looking down, it's because I had to take notes, okay, from my meditation. All right, when it comes to free will, okay, you are directly responsible for all of your own actions and your own choices, because this is where your consequences are going to come in. Okay, now first thing we're going to touch on, and we have five different topics of manipulation in terms of free will. Okay, so the first one is manipulation via comparison. The second one is manipulation via fear. Okay, the third one is manipulation via materials. Okay, the fourth one is manipulation via visible presence, and the fifth one is going to be manipulation via connections. Okay, so we're going to touch on all of these topics throughout the 4 videos that I'm going to record. I'm not going to do this introduction in all of the videos. That's just too much work. All right, so first let's talk about manipulation via comparison. Okay, now this is when the person who is attempting to exert some kind of control over your free will often compare the situation that they are placing you in to other people who are not in that situation, and they will do that in an effort to make you feel like you are the cream of the crop, or you have some kind of major advantage because you are listening to them as opposed to other people who are taking an independent route. Okay, if this doesn't make any sense, let me explain. This is even something that I've endured in the past. This is basically, let's just say that you have some type of connection or some kind of relationship with someone, and this person is saying, oh, you know what, so-and-so over there, they're not going to have what we have because we're doing this and they're not doing that. The fact that you're listening to me means that you're the kind of person that understands that it's okay to let somebody do this for you, and you don't always have to do everything, and that's why I love you, and their person doesn't really love them, and look at what they have to do, and you don't have to do that because you have me. This is all manipulation. None of this it has nothing to do with you experiencing the type of love that the creator of all things has designed for you to experience. This is a form of manipulation. Oftentimes when individuals don't have access to be able to exercise their free will, well, actually they do have access, they are giving it up. Basically, when individuals choose to give up their free will, because in their mind, by them doing this, it makes them a better person than the other people who are not, they will then have a tendency to make the person who is walking the independent path, they will try to make them feel like, oh, well, this is what I'm getting because I'm not exercising my free will. So I want you to look at my life, and this is the life that you should attain, or you should try to get. Okay, this is what they do. It's always a comparison thing. That's the first way that they try to make you feel as though you using your own free will, right, is not beneficial to you because you're not rendering the results that they're showing you. Now, understand that the results that these individuals are showing you are all based on illusions and perceptions. The truth of the matter is, individuals who are not able to actually make their own choices, okay, when it's being dictated to them by someone else, behind closed doors, they're not really happy. If they are, they're only showing you versions of their happiness based off of what they think other people think about them. It has nothing to do with them really being happy for real. This is just like somebody who's only happy as long as they think that because somebody is providing something for them, that they're all that, or that they have their life together, when in actuality, they don't, because they don't actually have free will to make their own choices. Let me give you an example. I know many individuals who are in a marriage, right? And in that marriage, because that person has made them feel as though, because they're providing all of these things for them, that person knows best, and that whatever decision that they make, it has to be a decision that came from the person that's providing for them. In other words, this is the kind of person who may have somebody who's purchased a home for them, a car for them, tells them, oh, you don't have to work, you don't have to do this, you don't have to do that, and all of those things are okay. The problem becomes, or the problem that comes from that, okay, is when the person who's providing all these things has to keep track of them. They can't go anywhere without permission. This person has access to every single device that they have. They have to ask them permission to go out. They have to ask them permission to spend any money. This person gets to tell them when they're allowed to go and hang out with people. This person gets to tell them who they're allowed to hang out with. This person gets to tell them when they're not going to leave the house. This person gets to dictate where they're allowed to go. This person dictates everything. And then this person will say, you know what? Because you're letting me dictate everything, we're going to go further than them, because you're trusting me, and you trusting me means that you're balanced. You trusting me means that you can see the vision and they can't see it. That's why we're going to go further. This is the bull crap that they do. This is all manipulation. And don't think that these people don't use the very nice, friendly way of trying to get control over your free will. They do. Not every person who is a perpetrator will actually use means of being hateful or ugly or fear to get access or to be able to control your free will. 9 times out of 10, most of the time, they try to give you the illusion that they are super nice, super sweet. And guys, I'm going to stop saying the word nice, because in actuality, if you look up the etymology behind the word nice, nice actually it's not a good word. It actually means that you're not very smart. We're going to say kind. They attempt to show you a kind version of them. So that way, in your mind, if you think that the only people who try to take control of you are the ones that use fear tactics, you're not going to see that they're doing the same exact thing, except they're using kind tactics in order to get access over every decision that you make. In a real relationship that is given to you by the creator of all things, you have something that's called a balance, okay? It's equal give and take. In other words, you're on your mission, the person that you're with is on a mission, you guys are not codependent on one another. That person is free to make their choices, you're free to make your choices, but there's a real commitment there. And there's no cheating, there's no manipulation, there's no competition between the two of you, there's no backbiting, there's no lying, there's none of that. None of that exists in a real relationship that you're supposed to be in, if it is ordained by the creator of all things. Just because you got married in the church does not mean that that was supposed to be your husband. That's a choice that you made based off of your free will, and with free will comes consequences, okay? So we'll get into manipulation via fear in the next video. Hopefully I'll see you guys there. If not, I hope you have an amazing day. Bye.